In this video, we are going to compute and interpret the z-scores. So generally, the z-score, which is a standardized score also called, is going to tell you whether the value is to the left or to the right of the mean. And the way you do that is you just look and see if the value is less or more than the mean. So here, for example, 18 is less than 88, which means that this value is going to be to the left of the mean. Now, we also will see in a second that the z-score of this number is going to be negative. So anytime the value is to the left of the mean, the z-score is negative. If the value is to the right of the mean, for example, like in this case, 122 is higher than 88, that would be to the right of the mean. All right, so first let's just compute the z-scores. So we're going to go under resources and we're going to click on Desmos graphing calculator and we'll use the option that's called sidebar. So let's just open up Desmos. Next, what you want is to click on the / key of your keyboard, or if you go to the keypad over here, you can just hit division. Okay, so this is division right here on the keypad. That will make it a fraction because you want to type the value that you are trying to standardize first. So you're going to type 18. Then you're going to subtract the mean. And the mean in this case is 88. So that's going to go on the top in the numerator. And on the bottom, you're going to put standard deviation. So it's very important that the standard deviation is by itself on the bottom and the difference is on the top. Because sometimes people put this. And that's wrong. Because only 88 is divided by 28. So you want to click on the slash first to make it a fraction. So this one, the z-score is negative 2.5. Now, we already know it's going to be negative because it says to the left. But how do we interpret it? So when you interpret, I want you to remember, never, ever, ever put negative numbers in the interpretation. I'm never going to say I am negative 2 points less than you. You just don't say that. So imagine that this is a real line, okay? Imagine that this is the mean 88 and this value here is 18. Okay, and so the distance from 18 to 88 is this numerator. That's 18 minus 88. So that's going to be like, what is it if you subtract them? That's going to be 70, right? And then when you divide it by 28, you are saying that you can fit 28 2.5 times. So you can go, 1, 2, and then a half, or something like that. So the interpretation is that this value 18 is 2.5 standard deviation to the left of the mean. So you're jumping to the left of the mean by 2.5. So this answer is always absolute value of this. And what's absolute value? If the number is positive, it's the same. But if the number is negative, you get rid of the minus. Okay? All right, so the next one is the same thing. So now it's 122. So all I have to do is just erase 18 and put 122. And of course, the mean and standard deviation does not change. Now, I want to round this to 2 decimal places. Before, I did not have to round, but this time I do. So I will just enter round, right? Then highlight the number, just click on it. Control C, Control V. Or Command C, Command V if you're on a Mac, and then a comma and 2 decimal places. So why 2? Because over here it says 2 decimals, right? And so this number is 1.21. Now this is positive, so we are saying that 1.21, how do we interpret that? This value is 1.21 standard deviations to the right of the mean. So if you were to graph the situation, this is your number line, this is 88, and then this is 122. So if you take standard deviation, only one of them, right? So like, let's say just 28. It's not going to be completely that. You're also going to add another 0.21 to it. So that's going to be 1.21 standard deviations to the right of the mean. Finally, 38. So let's just delete this and instead of 128, put 38. This one is negative, and so that will be to the left. And of course, you should know that 38 is to the left of 88. So the z-score must be negative. Now, when you do round, you have to be careful because the next number is the 5, which means that you're going to have to increase the second decimal to a 9. So that's going to be negative 179. And also remember again, then when you interpret, you do not put the negative 179, you put its absolute value. In other words, just get rid of the negative. And I already set to the left. So let's submit that.